All right, let's talk some more about stress and overwhelm. And so the topic this month is stress and overwhelm for accountants because I think it's one of the biggest issues that we deal with. So for this third episode of the Stressed Accountant YouTube channel, I'm going to briefly teach you the tool, the model. And I'm going to explain why you should be using your accountant brain more intentionally. So, as a professional certified coach with the Life Coach School, I have permission to teach the tool, the model. It's what I've used to eliminate stress and overwhelm, and it's what I work on with my coaching clients one on one. But the first thing that I'm going to discuss is the importance of using the higher part of your brain more intentionally. So the issue for most of us, if not all accountants, is what the authors of the book, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, they refer to as living below the line. As I shared in video number 2, you have two main parts of your brain, system 1 and system 2. Now, most accountants will let their system 1, that lower toddler brain, they'll let it run the show more than 80 to 90% of the time without being aware that that's what they're doing. Right? They unknowingly let system 1 dictate things like overwhelm, like stress, like the reactions, overreactions. It just creates an unmanageable life. So when you are living below the line, you are letting the toddler part of your brain decide for you. Now, I don't know about you, but the last thing that I want is a toddler running my career or running my life. Now, unfortunately, that's exactly what most accountants are unknowingly doing. It's also where the tendency to argue for your limitations comes from. So, to be a smarter accountant, you need to learn how to start living above the line. You need to start using that system 2 that I spoke about in the previous episode. System 2 is the higher part of your brain. It's that supervising mother or father. And it's more often the more intentional part of your brain. You need to use that part of your brain more and more intentionally. So, to do this, you need to use the formula that I teach called the model. So, eliminating stress and overwhelm simply comes from learning how to manage your brain. You can also use this awareness tool to work on anything that you're struggling with, anything that you'd like to improve, or any goal that you have. The model will show you the cause of your issues and how to solve each and every one of them. It's the most amazing thing that I've ever discovered. The only thing that you need to know to work with the model is one of five things. Okay, so here's the five things you need to know. What's the situation? Or what are you thinking? Or what are you feeling? Or what are you doing or not doing? Or what results you currently have? That's it. What's the situation? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing or not doing? Or what results do you currently have? So, for example, what's happening at work? What do you think about tax season? How do you feel about the recent tax code changes? Are you getting more work done in less time? Are you earning as much as you want? Now, these are just a few questions that you can ask yourself. I go more in depth into the model in my book, The Smarter Accountant, and I work with coaching clients one on one to help them learn and master this tool. But for this video, I just wanted to give you a general overview. So I'm going to bring my board over. And again, as you'll see, describe that you have the two parts of the brain. You have the lower primitive brain, which is the toddler. You have the higher brain, which is the prefrontal cortex. That's like the parent, the supervising mother, father. And that lower part of your brain is motivated by three things called the motivational triad. It's motivated to seek pleasure, to avoid pain, and to conserve energy. So here is the model. It consists of five parts. The first part is the circumstance. The second line is the thought. Third line is a feeling. The fourth line is your actions. And the fifth line is the result line. So, like 5 lines. It seems simple, right? Here's the thing. Do not be fooled by its simplicity, because this formula will bust those myths that you have about what's quote unquote normal and will help you to become a smarter accountant in the process. The model is like a magnifying glass that helps us to see what's going on with us, why we feel how we feel, why we do or don't do certain things, and why we have the results that we have. It shows us all of these things in a different way than we usually see things. And the number one reason that we do models is to become more aware of what's happening with us and to understand what we have control over. The model is not only an awareness tool, but it's also a formula to help you understand everything about your life. And like any formula, and I don't know an accountant that doesn't love a good formula, it helps you to see the components that lead to a particular result. The lines in the model are in this order for a reason. It gives you so much information and perspective. You see, the model allows you to take a bird's eye view of what's happening in your life, as opposed to feeling like you have no control. It helps you live intentionally instead of being a victim of your circumstances. And once you work with the model, you can start choosing your life intentionally. You can see the components of the equation that give you an unintentional result and the components of the equation that can give you an intentional result. So if stress and overwhelm are an issue, the model is the solution. So check back next week when I explain how this formula of the model will show you exactly what's causing your stress and overwhelm. It's good stuff. So if you haven't already downloaded some of my free resources, you're definitely going to want to check out in the details below of this video. As I create more resources, I'll be sharing more of them with you. So make sure you keep checking back with each episode. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.